It's North Korea's 7th missile test in January, and the boldest in 5 years. State media announced the isolated country launched the Hwasong-12 on Sunday, an intermediate-range ballistic missile. It's capable of striking U.S. citizens and military bases in Guam. It's the longest-range weapon North Korea has tested since 2017.
Kim is trying to get the U.S. attention. The Biden administration has been distracted with other foreign policy issues such as Ukraine. And it's also a very conventional administration that doesn't really want to be seen as rewarding bad behavior by engaging North Korea. So therefore, North Korea feels that it has to raise the stakes.
The 7 tests in January have included short-range ballistic missiles and what Pyongyang claims are hypersonic glide vehicles capable of evading U.S. defenses. This latest missile traveled about 500 miles on a near 30-minute flight before landing in waters off of Japan, according to South Korean and Japanese officials. North Korea says it was meant to verify the weapon system's accuracy, while analysts believe both the 2017 and 2022 tests were conducted from the same location.
We make it clear that we're condemning these attacks, and we continue to call on the North Korean regime to stop these provocations.
Just days ago, Kim Jong-un threatened to end a moratorium on testing nuclear and intercontinental ballistic missiles, which he had self-imposed back in 2018. The Biden administration has been calling for negotiations with no preconditions.
The door to diplomacy remains open, and we have conveyed that clearly.
But Kim wants sanctions lifted. China and Russia have proposed sanctions relief at the UN Security Council, and some analysts believe North Korea's weapons testing could slow down by Thursday for the Winter Olympics in Beijing. Sasha Ingber, Newsy, Washington.
So should we be worried? How worried? Let's bring in Joe Cirincione tonight, Distinguished Fellow at the Quincy Institute for Responsible Statecraft and author of Nuclear Nightmares, Securing the World Before It Is Too Late. Joe, when we hear these are their biggest missiles in years, what do we mean by that? Biggest in size, biggest in impact?
Biggest in range. So this is a liquid propellant missile. It's on a mobile launcher. You saw that in the still camera that you saw. So it can be brought into a launch site, shot up. In this case, they went in a high loft trajectory, meaning they shot it straight up and then it came down. So it didn't travel very far, but that's intentional. They didn't want to cross the territory of Japan or any other countries, but this has got the range. You flatten that trajectory out and it can hit Guam about 2,000 miles away. That's where our major military base is. That's where our B-52 bombers, B-1 bombers are staged that could fly over North Korea. So it's a clear message to the United States. You are within our sights. We continue to develop missiles that can hit you. Talk to us before we go further.
You hear this and you think, oh my gosh, oh no, it's happening again. But you know this stuff inside and out. On a scale of 0 to 10 of alarm, where are you? Because I think of your book. I was reading your book title there, Nuclear Nightmares. You know, at this point when we wake up from nightmares, I always know, okay, it was a nightmare. Everything's going to be fine. Is everything going to be fine?
Well, I got to compliment you on the coverage of this. I think your analysis that you laid out here is just about absolutely correct. That Kim is moving step by step. He wants talks. He wants the U.S. attention. An administration that's been distracted with other crises, that basically has a view similar to the Obama administration of benign neglect. We don't want to deal with North Korea. We don't want to feed them attention that will make them do further provocative acts, but Kim Jong-un will not be ignored. So this is not a direct military threat to the United States right now. It's just a test, but he is going to follow this up with more and more tests until he gets the negotiations that he wants. So I'd be, as you point out, I'd be looking for a lull during the Beijing Olympics, but then I'd be expecting him to test larger rockets, ones that can hit the United States. He hasn't tested one of those since 2017. And maybe ones with even larger engines that could carry multiple warheads that could defeat any U.S. defensive system.
So he steps it up, raising the stakes, getting more attention. The U.S. policy, what do you think we're going to do?
Unfortunately, I think the Biden administration does not want to engage in protracted negotiations with North Korea right now, so they're going to continue to try to ignore him. That policy will fail. He will keep testing. He'll be taking more provocative acts, and one of those could trigger a reaction from South Korea, from Japan, or from U.S. forces in the area. You want to talk to him before this thing escalates, before it gets out of control.
I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, he might be thinking, I'm flailing for attention, and something goes terribly wrong. That's a nightmare scenario. Joe Censaroni, thank you for sharing your insights with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Chance.